This is Justin Amazon on Wednesday, March 28th, 2018. I've got the chart up of the pre-market, and this was the major sell-off that we had yesterday, Tuesday, and kind of taking a bigger picture here. We rallied up, rolled over, and it didn't just kind of continue. It kind of bounced a little bit, but it kind of looks like this kind of S-curve shape, and rolled over pre-market, which, I mean, from way up here, 15, almost 1580, way down here into the 1430s here. I mean, it's nearly 150 point move. I mean, it's around 10% on Amazon. And so, 10%, that's a great place for a pullback. It's a great place for a bounce, but I don't have any lines down in here. And so we had just a lot of bearish candles pre-market. You'd think, okay, there's going to be some more of a pause. You got a little bit here pre-market. Then you step into the day, and it takes out the low and bounces. This first 5-minute candle here had a high at 1453 and a low at 1424. It's almost a 30-point move in 5 minutes on Amazon. I mean, whichever way you were going, who knows if you got stopped out. I mean, but I mean, some people were buying, some people were selling. It was just crazy. And there's no way that I can, see a candle like that go by and then expect for, a small, tiny inside 5-minute candle to get in whichever direction, it's supposed to break. So, I'm just sitting here watching this. I'm not doing any sort of trading with my small $100 R. And then in the next candle, you just get this crushing breakdown. And this candle, I think, even had a bigger move. The high 1451, the low 1408. Yeah, it's a $43 move in 5 minutes. It's just crazy. So, I mean, if anybody had been selling right at this resistance, this retest, and then calling that new resistance, and had any option going bearish, or even the stock, with this kind of move, the option premium was nuts, and I actually just quit watching it after a little while. It's like there's nothing to get into here. It's just too wide. The whole bid-ask spread is going to eat up my entire risk, and I would have to buy an exact low with a call, buy an exact high with a put, without knowing if that's the exact low or exact high. So we're having this massive move lower, monster volume, even more volume than we had yesterday or the day before. And then we sort of bounce. I mean, these candles are just massive, so I'm just going to speed through some of these. And it starts to, climb back up, and it's like, okay, well, we got some resistance here. So the opens of these candles pre-market, you're kind of up into that area there. Not quite a place to look for rollover yet, so we keep coming up. Now we're up at the open of this candle, and then we get our first bearish sign, and this is a bearish engulfing. And I'm sorry, let me make this bigger now because I don't need to see anything. There's nothing interacting in the range from yesterday. So you have a bearish engulfing candle. So you have a rally for 30 minutes, which this was a great move. You came down in here to low 1400, 1404 was the low. I'd have to look back and see if there was more lines to draw anywhere around here. I didn't go back and put any new ones in. Probably should have, knowing that we are a long ways away from some of the moving averages and the long-term moving averages that you'd expect some sort of grind back lower towards. But anyway, here, so we've got, this massive candle. We've got a 30-minute rally back up near the, right at the open, near the highs. We're back pretty close to range on this candle. I guess tagged a little bit higher. Maybe some people were buying. I mean, these people were buying up here, thinking this is it. If you're gonna think this is a place to buy and bounce, don't go for somewhere low. I mean, even a retest down at this level here with a stop below, that would have been a great place with a risk of under $10. Got in at 1410 with a stop at 1400. I mean, there you go. You've got 3R, a little more than 3R for just the shares. If you got filled, if you've got the right number of right amount of capital to be able to make a trade like that. So bearish engulfing, potentially, you know, an evening star reversal here. These three. Let's go one more candle forward. We're not quite into the exponentials here. And then, yes, definitely we've got this bearish engulfing, bearish breakdown now with a close below this candle, below this candle. We're actually even below the pre-market low now. And so this place would have been, these were some of the smaller candles up here. You had an indecision candle here, and it just continued up. Now you're going to even start reversal at some key levels that open. So the open on this candle was 1444.01, and the open in this candle was 1444.19. So, you know, some of the folks that were selling up here and all the way down are the ones that are selling here. And this being a bearish retest gap, that the previous candle was bearish, and now we've opened with a gap down. You're looking for a retest. Here's your retest. Here's your first one. Let's see if there's any more. It's kind of sort of got one here. Maybe could have played that aggressively on a smaller time frame. You know what? I'm not going to switch to a smaller time frame yet. We'll swing back over and take a look at that in a little bit here if I remember. So we're just going to step in these. And these candles are just, you know, rolled over. Okay, we've got 20 minutes of selling. Get a little pause here. Here's another place that, okay, if you take the break lower to the low of the day with a stop either above the candle or above up here, you know, wait for that break. You stay under these wicks here. Now you've got more selling. It's a little more of a flag pattern here, and even a break below this candle now, ideally below this candle, but your stop is still good. Or this is a morning star reversal, and we are really going to bounce today. But the high here was 1430.76, and the low here was 1431. So, you know, we've come right back up and retested this level from pre-market. I mean, it looks identical to where we're at right now, right here. Looks like you're sitting on that cursor line. So anyway, we'll step a little bit more forward, and there we go. We start to break down again, break down, and we actually take out the low, the previous low of the day. And so some people were probably trying to buy in this area here, right off of that. That candle wick there, that may have been some bouncing. You can come down here, retest the low of the day, actually retest really well, right back up to the 1408 prices in here, 1408, yep. You come right back up to 1408 on the penny, and then get an indecision candle and another sort of indecision with a little bit more of an upper wick. And then we start to roll again. So here's an evening star reversal. It's a bearish move from these candles. We'll see if it takes out some lows. We keep going down again, and now obviously Thinkorswim just threw a low on here. So this ended up being the low of the day. There were people going short, and this little bit of a wick down here that was below this low. That's when people were piling on after confirmation, just like people down here were still selling down here, even though we just passed the low of the day, the prior low of the day, and now we retested. You know, this being a retest gap, you could have called this a retest, this a retest, this a retest, this a retest, any of those. And so, you know, now we actually start to bounce a little bit. We've got a morning star reversal here, or kind of these candles here, and it starts to bounce. Pause. Sorry, we didn't really pause. We stayed right here at the below the 21 exponential, and then pushed straight on through it, which is taking out the high. So once it takes out a high, I look for a retest, going bullish, and we'll see what we get. Get a little bit of retest there, similar high on those two candles. A little more retest, and then starts to bounce. And slowly through here, just slowly starts to bounce. You're trapping anybody who was going bearish here, looking for another rollover. But you've got, you know, lower high, lower high, lower high. Now you make a higher high, higher high, higher high from the previous one. So yeah, we're bouncing in here. Come back up, it's around here, and now it's like, okay, we're in the same area of the open and the highs in here. Push a little bit further above. People thinking, yeah, now we're going bullish. We broke above, and starts to pull back. So again, like we had here, similar level, just a little bit higher, a couple dollars higher. All right, that's like $10 higher. A bearish engulfing here, here. Bearish engulfing of that candle. And we start to roll over again. I thought we went a little lower, yeah. So this is some consolidation, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. There's just some consolidation, break lower. You know, any of these that we were saying are new highs. So now we've got another new low. But you know, are we gonna stay above this? Are we gonna stay above this? Where is a good place that you can take some profit? And you know, here's another consolidation. So this is one where you want to tighten your stop to here, or really right here if you're aggressive. And it actually rolls over a little bit more, right back down into the lows here. So the low was 14.12, 14.12. The low here was 14.13. So really close to getting to that low. This consolidation broke down, retesting. We look for it to continue a little bit lower, and it doesn't. It actually starts to break up. So was it with a small sort of, I'd have to look at small time frame, inverted head and shoulders, starts to move up, and I'm sure some people were thinking, okay, now we're going up. Like we've made, you know, this higher low, or this higher high, made this higher low. Maybe this will make another higher high. Maybe we'll come back up to 1468, which I think I was talking about 1468 price a while ago, and I didn't even mention that. The pre-market just pushed right on through that. We didn't even get back up to it, just like the 1580 or 1578 price we were looking at yesterday. It didn't even quite get up there, and it just rolled over from that. And if we continue here a little bit longer, now we're pulling back again. It's, you know, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like, okay, bigger picture, take a zoom out and just be like, okay, look, I've got a low here, a higher low, a little bit of a higher low. I've got a relative high here to here. I've got a lower high. This looks like a triangle consolidation here. It's like, okay, which way is it going to go? Is it going to move? No, not moving yet. Okay, we're breaking out. You know, here's the line on the breakout. That was a false breakout, or it did and then retested, and now we'll go higher, right? For sure. It has to, because, I mean, now it's bouncing, and it just doesn't. It just kind of chops and then rolls over. So had you gotten in bullish here, likely would have been expecting at least a high of the day move, maybe 2 to 1. Then it pulls back, pauses in here with some indecision, and then rolls over. And it's like, oh, we're going bearish again. This you know, this is our new, you know, relative high sort of level, like this was, and now we're rolling over. All right, well, let's get that back down at least to, you know, these lows, and hopefully down to the low of the day, or you know, maybe from the open, you know, a little bit lower. Just go a little bit lower. And it just doesn't. It just kind of chops. So, you know, the range, this is the kind of look I was expecting yesterday, with just some indecision throughout the day. I was not expecting these swings of, what is this, 1450 all the way down to 1386. It's just a huge range. I did not expect this kind of range. I did not expect a sell-off like this. And so you take a zoom back out, you know, I expected this kind of chop just continue all day. Just like this kind of chop in the second half of the day, just kind of continue. That's what I was looking for today, and it just didn't get it. I mean, or that's what I was looking for yesterday. And then for today, I was not anticipating, you know, just a bearish gap and then more sell-off. It totally makes sense, seeing that we're breaking every support. It seems to make sense that we would break this support and then keep going. And then some folks want to buy because it was low enough to buy again. And so, you know, this, let's zoom back out over to, here's an hourly. You know, we've got a really nice consolidation here in the hourly. If we switch that back up to a daily, give a sec. So, you know, we're definitely bearish here. That gap, this gap that filled, roll over. This is a high, a lower high, lower high. The lows in here, there's not much going on in this area other than some indecision. So this could definitely get back down below 1300. You know, get back in on something that pulls back down to, you know, the 1265 range. It just could continue. That's all I'm trying to say is there was this much buying. If we gap down again, I mean, you'd want to look at a smaller time frame like the hourly to say, okay, you know, we ended the day bouncing. Well, for the most part, this was the bounce and this was chop. But I mean, this could do another sort of, you know, S curve where this came back up and then rolled over. It could come back up and then roll over. I don't know. If we jump into the 4 hour, I noticed this. So we have a new line that came in on this consolidation. We've already filled in the bearish highlighting here, showing that that's the kind of move that you expect. And then this triangle makes a little more sense because we came back up to this high. You know, we had broken through this one, retested, bigger retest, but this one came all the way back up to the high on that, let me click it, on that consolidation. So, and then we were breaking it and then, you know, jumped out of it. I mean, you could even have an argument for a rally up to maybe the 1500 range to the bottom of this triangle and then another rollover. There's quite a ways to go to get all the way down to the exponential moving averages, which I don't really remember exactly where they are, but I think they're way down here in the 12 or 1100 range, maybe 1200. So, I mean, anywhere we could bounce down here would be a great place to, you know, aggressively buy, looking for a quick turnaround. So I think I said we would go back and take a look at some of the options. So let me come back over here, look at the day, multi-hour of the day, there we go. So if we're looking at this, we opened going bearish, so you'd be looking at puts, and even the 1400 put, you know, rallied hard with a really wide range. So the high and the low were over 6, you know, about like a $6 risk. It's just, that's not something that's feasible for me to do. I'm sure some folks can. This was that plummeting candle. We came back up and formed this evening star. So had you gotten in on, you know, any of the candles here, you know, you still would have had, you know, say you got in above the high of 1450, the stop below the low at $9. It's like that's almost $600 on that range. It's like, no, I can't even do that with my R. So you know, this was just a wait and see what happens for me. It threw in another evening star. This one, you would come back a little bit below these, the low here, and you could have gotten in for a much tighter range. You know, maybe you got in on you know, the high above this candle of 890, and the low was 625 here. So I mean, that's still $300, you know, $3 risk or $300. You know, half of it was back here, so it makes sense to, you know, either go a little further out, only, you know, a couple strikes, because, you know, it is expiration Friday or Thursday tomorrow, so all the premium of these has to be sucked out. But, you know, there were some opportunities to play with a little bit of a wider R, and so at some point, you know, later in the morning, I'm like, there's not any point. There's too much bid-ask spread to trade on AMZN, so it just wasn't something that was on my radar to trade. I mean, the day started with it being on my radar to trade, and then quickly lost that. So anyway, there definitely some chop in here. If you had gotten in going bullish, going bearish, you know, may have been stopped out. Probably stopped out unless you were really aggressive with your exit. But now with this consolidation in here on the 5, and probably on some larger time frames, if we break bearish again, if we run down, so right now we're pretty even with the indecision of the day, the consolidation of the day. It would not surprise me if we gapped lower, retested back up into the lows here, and then rallied, or then rolled over. Or if we go up, I would think that maybe it would retest this evening star or some other area, or maybe right above this. My hope is that it would retest there and then be off to the races. And so Thursday tomorrow is a day before a holiday. So the markets will close Friday, but there may be folks that are getting out of positions that will hold over a 3-day weekend, and it could, towards the end of the day, it could provide some great opportunities for being able to have a quick setup. And I mean, if you were to take advantage of the move, like this one towards the end of the day, to just grind it higher over, almost $20 on the stock. I mean, that's something to watch for when you're a strike or a couple strikes out of the money, looking for it to bounce into the close. So we'll be watching to see what happens tomorrow, and we'll do a recap tomorrow night. So if you enjoyed this video, there's plenty more in here that we could have done on the options. One thing I do want to show in here is this is the 1400 put, and it's been around for a while. Nice round number, 1400. Put it again up to 800, somewhere in there, 700. And so I just want to focus on this part. Between yesterday being way up here and putting in a low on this option way down here, today we actually saw the 1400 strike put go in the money by a few dollars. One of these was the 1368, so by $14 in the money. And yesterday, so having a little more foresight into what is potentially going on because of just how the markets are moving, how Amazon moving, you could have bought for, that's 10 cents. Could have bought, or $10, 10 cents the option, $10 for the contract. Could have bought for $10 plus your commission on one side in case it doesn't work. You're out. If your commission's $5, then you're out $15. And I mean, that is a way to trade. And so today you could have flipped that out if you got the high. For round numbers, let's just say $30. Actually, let's say 31. So let's say I got in here for $1 and got out here for 34 or something. No, or not 34. Sorry, 31. So 31 minus 1, you're still left with a profit of $3,000, and that's 30R. If somebody had bought yesterday at a low, or even at $1 here, I mean, this kind of move, this kind of rally, there were a number of things that we could see how it would play out. Even later in the day, you got the evening star reversal on the stock, and so it's kind of a morning star reversal in the option, and that even bounced. And so you had some ranges in here that just kept moving all day, even though premium was supposed to be getting sucked out. Everything just seemed to be a quick move and too wide in the bid-ask spread for me. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow to see how I can put some of this stuff into practice that we've been reviewing, and to get a good move, whichever way it is. Hopefully not just some sideways grind, but I mean, if we have a sideways grind like today was, towards the close was not good, but earlier in the day, this move did a lot. So it's got a huge range, and there's a lot of opportunities there. So continue to look for the opportunities. Thanks for watching. This is Justin AMZN.